Actually, I can't do this.
No, well, hello. Welcome back.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
Just had to stir the pot a little bit,
You just wanted to start the live with a laugh.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Setting the energy. Ugh, kind of heavy conversation today.
Yeah.
Kind of rolling off of last week. Oh my gosh, I already lost it.
Oh, damn.
Initiating partner check-ins, and they don't always go according to plan. So part of it really is having presence in conversation. You're not feeling heard. The other person doesn't want to hear it. Someone's coming off really defensive. And this all stemmed off of a TikTok video that I found, and the guys were using a string, and dude asked how his day was going, and this was the presence in the conversation. And when he picked up a phone while having the conversation, it went slack, and there's no more presence. You cut yourself out. So.
And then he had it where we were holding said string, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm listening. I'm here. I'm and then the string got slack on their end because there was no presence being given directly to the source of conversation.
Yeah. And then Braden had this idea.
Yeah. Okay. So it really, I noticed, like, all right, cool. So first level, noticing presence in a conversation, cool. But now I thought it would be a really good representation as well to be able to see the actual tension that comes back and forth in a dysregulated conversation. And yeah, we are going to attempt to model that and slow it down and talk to, bro, we didn't even go through the live demo script before we looked at this. Okay, so this is going to be really raw and unedited, right, guys? Like a live in all its beauty.
It's visceral to see, though, to see the whole, like, yeah.
To see the actual pull and tug of like how this all goes. And so I'm going to preface to start out, we're going to get like a good little bit here so we have room to do the things. Conversations start out here. Connection starts out here. There's no tension. There's no like rawness. It's just simply existing as information passed back and forth. I really wish I could have like read through this before we started this live.
You go back to the other one then.
No.
It was pretty simple.
Yeah, but you know what? Like we did fine walking through it without anybody watching us, and we did that in one go. So we can real time this in one go. It'll be no different. I just
that's where I'm sitting.
Gotta get behind it, you know. All right. Both people facing each other. A string connects their wrist. We're not doing that. That's too much. I can't tie it. And hangs slack. All right. Between every two people is a string. It tightens when meaning is assumed. It loosens when truth is spoken. Tonight we're not cutting the string. We're listening to it. Scene 1. The snap. Yeah, so a few of us went out for drinks tonight, and it was like a really fun time. I had a blast.
Oh, sounds like fun. I don't know why I even think to invite me.
Noticing the pulse slowing their body. Hey, hold on a second. Something just shifted. Stop moving. There's no explaining. Holding tension, right? And then I want to pause before we keep going. The string stays tight, but stops jerking. But the first spill happens. Person A activated, contained, but sharp. Goes with.
I didn't realize that I wasn't a part of that group.
Ooh, okay, all right. I hear that something landed heavy. Let's slow this down. Nothing needs to be solved right now. Let's just like notice. They soften their shoulders. The string steadies. I am here. Meaning surge. Person A. Emotion rising.
It just feels like If I mattered, I would have been invited.
Okay. All right. Steady and grounded. I'm not going anywhere. I stay physically still. I can feel how tight this feels on your side of things, man. That is some tension. That is some rawness. So, before we keep going, before we jump into the next defensive spike, this is the first time where you have the chance to just acknowledge that they are feeling the dysregulation instead of taking it on yourself and wanting to get defensive, which can happen, especially if you've had the conversation a million times and it still doesn't get through on either side of things, right? So this is where we're like, okay, let's address them first as the regulated individual. We're going to notice their dysregulation and we're going to put ours on hold. Hello, Monica. All right. Jump into scene 4, the defensive spike, critical moments. String yanks. Short, of course.
You could have just invited me. I don't know why you didn't think of me.
All right, now I'm going to go into what we shouldn't do. All right. You may name this aloud to the audience. They do not defend, they do not explain, they do not counterattack. No, I want the, we're going to go back up here because I want to go through that. All right, what not to do. Because most people will do this.
Why didn't you think of me?
I already said I thought you were busy. Why are you attacking me? I apologize. What more do you want? All right. Those responses pull back hard and they snap that string. More often than not, it can pull it completely away from the person. Then you've lost all connection to that conversation. And they either rant and go on a rampage, they shut down and walk away and say, never mind, it's not going to work the conversation. So that escalation, watch for that. Words mean something and how you show up with them. All right, here we go. Jumping back down all the way here. Bear with me, guys. Shabam. All right, now the regulated move. Separate hurt from instruction. Slowly, calmly, and clearly. I hear the suggestion. And I want to slow this part down. I take a breath. The string holds steady. Right now, it feels like the hurt is still here. And you are speaking from hurt. You're triggered. Like, I would like to address that part of it. Before we could talk about what could have been done differently, can we stay with this stirred up part for you for just a minute? All right. The emotional peak, the truth surge, person A. The string stops posing.
I didn't want to have to ask. I just wanted to be thought of. I feel left out.
Soft and sincere. Thank you for saying that. And that makes sense. You're not wrong. And then take a step closer so that string just gets a little bit looser on our end. All right. And then the meaning repair. I didn't invite you because I assumed you were busy. Not because I didn't want you there. And I can see how that assumption cost you something. Me assuming that you're busy and not taking it into consideration. I get it. The string loosens more. Now person B, the repatterning, the shared adjustment. Next time, I can check instead of assume. And if that feeling shows up again, I want you to tell me sooner before the string pulls tight. But before we do that, there's a couple more examples that I'd like to step into with that. And if that old dum 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 dum, where did it go?
Some like bomb elevator music, man.
Thank you. I guess it doesn't It was supposed to tap on something else. Oh no, right here. Jumps into what this teaches. Regulation isn't staying calm, it's staying present. You don't fix misunderstanding while someone is dysregulated. No, those aren't it either, though. Those come after the demo. What happened to them? There was a list of things. Not only that next time I can check instead of assume, and if the little feeling pops up, there was more to it. I don't know.
The first one?
That is the first one. Unless it was in this one. Yeah, no, I don't know. But, and then there are, I guess, remember, because I was talking about how there are some things, it was like, not just I can check in with you next time. That was one option, one of a few options. Or it's a shared agreement that it's okay to be able to ask without expecting an answer in return, knowing that it's been seen and acknowledged. Like not needing to have that respond back. And that might be hard for some people, but it's like knowing that if that's where you both are standing and one person doesn't want to have to feel like they need to respond, and the other person needs the assurance that there is responding, then they're going to have to meet in the middle somewhere and then find a good balance that feels good for them so that they both feel they have autonomy. But that can't be found until you see what it is they
feel like
need.
Just acknowledging and seeing that hurt was caused, regardless of how it played out, that I see you. I understood that hurt you, and I can feel that this is happening. So let me address that, and I see what caused that. I understand that wasn't the intention, but I understand that that's how you feel. That alone, like viscerally, you can see the
loosening of all that tension. Yes.
The presence is there. I feel seen. I feel heard.
And she didn't have to ask for it.
And regardless of what happens later, that presence and conversation can get you places.
And that's really
it's important.
And that's really the key. Is at the end of the day, like even if the explanation is they're asking for your presence, because you just gave it to them without having to have them ask you to hear what they're saying in the moment, or you are as they're asking for it, it helps them. It helps them a lot because you are actively practicing being there to hear them before they start asking for you to hear what they're saying. So as they're saying what they need from you, as they're telling you how to be heard, they're already.
You should have invited me.
Yeah.
Why didn't you think of me? What the heck, man?
But by that point, you have already started the process of acknowledging them, because before that even was said, that was the moment they were like, oh, must be nice. We stopped and we decided that we were going to understand their misregulation and let them be heard. And we were like, oh, wait, hold on, slow down. That brought something up. Can we talk about that? What is that tension? Right? And then the escalation, because they're on the defensive and they want to be heard and they're used to not being heard. So they're going to get a little raw at you for it.
Why didn't you? I shouldn't have to ask you to invite me. I should be part of the group.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're 100% right. I thought you were busy and it was a very last minute thing. So I just figured it'd be better off not to bother you, you know?
I just felt left out.
Yeah, and I can see how that's the case. Like, I guess I could have just called you. No, see, now we're going off script already. Yeah, but that whole feeling left out, that's the next tug. That's that, like, why didn't you get, I was a text message away is what they're trying to say there, right? Like, and then that's when we want to be all raw. Like I said, I was sorry. I just explained it to you. Whoa, why is it such a big deal? See, there's that misregulation. There's your pole. As a regulated person, you're holding the tension You're recognizing it and allowing it to be there. And then you slowly, as you acknowledge their hurt, their dysregulation, as you can see them coming down, you're pulling into it. And then there's resolution. And more often than not, recognizing the person's dysregulation allows you to step out of your own dysregulation with the hurt that was said to you in the moment. It is your job as a dysregulator, though, not to bring in past instances to the moment, because it sullies what the moment could be. And that's really fucking hard, because we're like, but they need to know, and it needs to be fair, and they need to be held accountable for all the, you know what? At the end of the day, if you couldn't get them to figure those ones out because you were compounding past interest on top of past interest on top of past interest, like, then you're just beating the dead horse and you're driving yourself crazy trying to get different results from the same approach. So take a step back and be like, leaving all that out of there. How can we focus on this moment, keep it present, and allow myself to be able to stay regulated, and instead of allowing the past stuff to like rar me, which is, it's hard when you haven't worked through the rar stuff and you've got it all piled up. It's hard to just stick
old
with the first
triggers,
one.
old habits of ways that we showed up in conversation. And it's really frustrating to acknowledge the fact that we are learning, and all the things that we have learned, we are responsible for practicing that.
Yeah, man, and think about it this
way. And that feels like a lot of pressure to be the person that's always doing the heavy lifting, but you're the one that's learning this. They haven't gotten there yet, or maybe they have, but either way, own up to the fact that you're learning this.
And think about it this way. That dysregulation is a pile of laundry, and you are looking for a sock. And when you get defensive and you pile more shit on from the past, you're piling dirty laundry on top of your clean laundry, and you still gotta stick your hand in there and find a fucking sock. Oof. Okay? So, before you throw the dirty laundry on top of the clean laundry, allow yourself to regulate the situation so that the clean laundry can be pulled apart so you can find the sock you're looking for. And sometimes you find it halfway through the pile, and sometimes it's at the bottom of that fucker. Sometimes it's right on top, and it's really nice when that happens. We appreciate it. But yeah, remember the laundry scenario. The next time you want to lose your shit on somebody.
Brayden loves metaphors.
I do. They really ring true.
Monica left a message.
Oh, did she? Let's see it.
It shows up on mine.
Well, that's stupid. Why doesn't it show up on mine? Well, we don't even have to have the chat, so I can just, but if I do that, what if I just go like this and keep opening it until it just shuts that around? Oh, all right.
Ooh.
One of the things my counselor brought to my attention while going through my breakup with Robbie was that a lot of people don't listen to understand, they listen to respond. They're already thinking about their answer or comeback before the other is ever done speaking. Hence, nothing is ever breached in communication. Yes. Taken by the music. Who's being taken by
I was
the
dancing
music?
while you were looking.
Oh. I love it.
This is some nice music.
Right?
If I was in an elevator, I'd be happy that it was taking a while.
I almost see myself dancing out of the elevator with a flute and a bunch of mice behind me.
Right?
Like the Piper.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's...
You can, okay, so I feel like part of the listening to respond, when they have a bunch of comebacks, I don't know, there's that pattern recognition. Like, not everybody can do that in the middle of it. And especially if you're trying to get to a different point and they're focusing on something else.
That's why we regulate them, right? Because when they're trying to get to a point, when you're trying to get to something else, okay? Like, you full stop every notion in your body to get your point across. That is no longer the field of terrain you are working in. And if you are, it is like sitting in two different football fields trying to yell at each other. Nobody's going to get anywhere with that conversation. But if you walk out of your football field and go into their football field and be like, it's a nice place, bro, but that's a shitty attitude. Let's talk. Then you can get somewhere. You can talk about that shitty attitude. Granted, you can't be an asshole about it because you're just going to put up more defenses and you just got to You're digging through more shit when you're doing that, right? So instead,
they're snagged on something. They're snagged on something. They don't want to move forward. So what are we snagged on?
Like, get them off that snag, so then you can bring them back to what you're talking about. And along the way, maybe you won't even have to talk about what you're talking about because the light will go off and be like, oh, that's why you said. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, you actually, okay. All right, now we're on the same page. And then things resolve. Or you got to go deeper because there are other things that are tied to the one thing. And sometimes there's no pleasing people, and you just got to know when enough is enough for a conversation.
When the conversation isn't ready to move forward.
Yep.
Recognizing that there's too much emotion brought into it.
Yeah, and you know, when that happens, guys, you can't as much as you want to because you're going to be frustrated. You can't lash out at them. You finally gave them a chance to feel safe, even if they couldn't move all the way forward. And if you want more progression, then the last thing you're going to do is cave down the last entrance you just broke open on your way out the door. Because you don't have to dig that shit out later, right? Okay? So instead of being like, clearly, you are too triggered for us to have this conversation, I'm not ready to have it anyway, we'll continue it another time. It goes more into the territory of like, okay, there's a lot of emotion right now. I can see you're triggered. I'm starting to get to the verge of being triggered. Maybe we should just take a break, have a moment of peace away from each other, collect our bearings, and we can come back. How does half an hour sound? How does half the day away sound? You don't want to get too much farther than that if you can help it. Some things are so big you need a few days, and that's understandable. But with your little everyday things, man, 30 minutes to an hour. Sit, regulate, allow yourself to think it through. Maybe you'll notice something as you're reflecting. You know, find a different approach.
Yeah, like thinking of the string theory, and when there's too much being pulled, when is the string gone and you checked out? Somebody's checked out of the conversation. Know when the conversation needs to be ended.
Mm-hmm. Don't beat the dead horse. It's already dead. I gotta read it. I can't see it. It's not popping up on mine.
Oh wow, look at that. My phone's doing all the work this time. The comments never pop up on my screen.
You just said what I was gonna say as well. You also need to know when your voice actions are being wasted on something that isn't yours to confront. Yeah. Bro, that's that
Dissect that. What do you mean by that?
I know. What she's saying is like, it's the whole golden bar theory, okay? So,
oh, another metaphor, guys.
everybody, we're going to shift it a little bit. Everybody has like these golden bars, okay? And for context, you're not going to give a golden bar to a 3-year-old because they're not going to take care of it. They have their own little golden bars that they play with in their life, right? And yours is not going to be taken care of. It's going to be smashed, it's going to be beaten, it's going to be thrown against because it's 3. We know better, right? So we don't give our emotions to our 3-year-olds, right? So when somebody is coming up to you and they're like, hey, I am short on cash, I need $20. Do you got $20 you can lend me? And in that moment, they are taking a golden bar and they're handing it to you and asking you, can you handle this for me? Because I've got other things, and like, can you handle this? And in that moment, if somebody would come up to me and ask me for that $20 and I don't have it, or I know I'm not going to get it back before I actually need it, it's my responsibility to be like, I see your golden bar, bro, but at this point in time, I can't help you with that. And I'd really like to be able to be somebody that you can come to in times of need. I'm sorry it's not this time, but don't let that stop you from asking at other junctures where maybe I can be of more service or I can be of more help, what have you, right? You don't have to explain away why you can't help them, where you don't want to help them. You're just giving them a clean, this is yours to carry. And it's the same with us. When we ask something of somebody and they're dysregulated, we're asking them to hold on to the golden bar, our golden bar, and be like, take this, hold it, take care of it for me. I know you got your bars, but I need you to hold this one too. And then when they don't, or they do for a while and they drop that golden bar, or you're looking at it and you see it smudged and it's smeared and they didn't take care of it the way you would have taken care of it, you get mad at them. You gave away your authority to them and expected them to take care of it, and they didn't. But it was never theirs to begin with. It was always yours. So we hold on to that. So then, when it comes to people that don't want to see the situation for what it is, and you're beating that dead horse, and you recognize, like, man, I've given you all of the tools to help you take care of your gold fecking bar, and you're not getting it. So I guess I need to recognize that.
It is important, especially for somebody who has so much emotional intelligence. When you're learning and you're taking in all this information, which brought you to this group, which brought you to the videos that you're watching, which shapes you and helps you navigate life, make it a bit easier. Not everybody is at that level. Not everybody is even wanting to do that. And that sucks. And it really feels like you're holding the weight for everybody, and you don't have to.
Nope.
You don't have to. You got to learn when to check out. Like, you know what? This isn't a conversation for right now, I guess. I'm sorry.
Speaking of which, when it comes to holding weight, I have a couple things I'd like to say on that. Like, not only recognizing what's your weight to hold. Because remember, guys, in our journey, things feel heavy. Some things are meant to be let go of, and some things are meant to be carried a certain distance, so understanding is gained, right? And in that moment, when you know you got heavy shit to carry that you're not really happy about, picture the thing that you're carrying as something that you damn near covet, that you really want to see make it to where it needs to go. Because you know it belongs there and it's going to set the scene, whether that's like the perfect piece of furniture in the next piece of house, part of the house that you want, or this badass statue in this imaginary garden that you are building your ass towards, whatever it is. It gives you the opportunity to be excited about the bullshit you're trudging through, right? Yeah.
And then it's some lovely experience, man. It sucks that you're going through it, but are you picking up some gems?
Yes. The heaviness is worth it. So look at your hoard. Look at what you got going on in your basket. Like, damn, this is a good haul. I'm taking a lot with me to this mountaintop.
You have learned so much. You have overcome so much. You are still learning so much. You are becoming.
Remember, guys, it's like being in a car. Like, our foot is constantly on that gas pedal. We get to decide how far down we push on that gas pedal to see how fast we're going to move through life. But ultimately, it's always there. And we have that steering wheel. And so when we get stagnant in life, it's not us just staying stuck in a spot. No, it's like we got our foot on that wheel and our hands are not on that pedal, and the car's just driving to anything and everything. And everything is just piling up on it along the way, and it's starting to stink because, man, it'd be nice to just drive on a path where everything is visible and you can enjoy it. And even if it's hard and you got skinny bridges and bumpy spots where you got to slow way the fuck down, you can do it. Get your hands on the steering wheel. You can try to traverse that path. So
with all that experience, though, you can lead by example and show people by asking or by leading the conversation in a emotionally regulated manner. Like, can I share something and just have you listen, please? I'm not looking for advice. I just really want someone to see, and you are that person, and I trust you to do it. So please just listen and don't try to fix.
Look, guys, at the end of the day, it's about being, like, when they talk about a pillar in your community, a pillar in your relationship. Being a pillar in your relationship does not mean that you allow them to build their own structure upon yours. Because if either one of those collapse, you both collapse. But if you stand as your own pillar, build it on your own foundation, be a presence to allow somebody else to build their pillar. You can build bridges across.
I'm gonna find the images again. I'm gonna reshare them for everybody.
You can build as many bridges across those two pillars as you want. You can help them build theirs. You can give them tools and materials, right? They can build their own stuff. You have as many bridges as you want. But at that point, man, it's beautiful, because if either one of you guys collapse, you're not collapsing on the other. The other stands firm so that the other can rebuild. from the destruction of their own tower moment and rebuild beautiful and even more refined. And it's the same thing. And then back and forth. And then connections, you know, doesn't matter how many of those bridges break, you still have your own towers.
That sounds painful.
What does it say?
Everyone wants a village, but nobody wants to be a village. Everybody wants a village, but no one wants to be a village.
Well, and see what that comes from is because everybody thinks that like it should be everybody for everybody. But it really should be remembering that not everybody can lean on one person. And if not everybody can lean on one person, then that means that nobody can lean on anybody. Everybody's got to build their own shit.
All for one and one for all.
And then as you're building your stuff, you just recognize people where they're at in their journey. We don't judge them for it. And we give them the help that we can give them. And they will build their tower at their own, or their pillar at their own pace. And some of them will be short pillars, and they will be stuck there for a long time because they are adamant that they know what tool they need to keep going. You've already told them that's cool. You don't have to stay there with them. You don't have to be like, bro, I'm going to be here till you get this. No, you're like, all right, well, I gave you the tools. I gave you the manuscripts. I'm going to keep building. I'm going to keep doing my thing. Bro, I hope I see you. In fact, really hope you like get the boost you need and you get ahead of me and I catch up with you that way. But for now, I'm just going to keep on trucking along. I don't got to take on your stuff. I don't got to be frustrated with how you're living life. At the end of the day, when you're building your own pillar moment by yourself with your community, like if any of your community falls out of your presence, it doesn't change how you're building the structure because you're not building it towards anybody else's building.
I have a cute little thing for that. Presence isn't about being in the room. It's about being in the moment with your full self.
Yes. And recognize what energies are fueling that moment.
It's a gift, it's a discipline, and a practice.
When you pay attention to your present moment, like, and you see your mood that you have with it, ask yourself: is the energy that's influencing the mood? Is it past events? Is it future-scaping, or is it correlated directly to the moment at hand? And that really helps you get a good feel for like what direction you're spiraling and why.
Yeah. We all want to be seen. We all want to be felt. We all want to be heard. But that starts with how we show up. How you show up in the conversation.
Yes. Is your heart and your voice, your mind, are they all in alignment? Are you letting your heart speak? Remember, your heart is where all emotions are expressed from. Regardless of where you feel it in the body, it comes right through here. I mean, it's on its way out as it's being spoken through the mouth.
Are you regulated enough to be having that conversation right now? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's such a good question.
Yeah, because if you're not regulated to have a conversation, so like in that situation, as seeing the dysregulation happen, if you're not ready to deal with having a dramatic moment about somebody being in their insecurity about not being invited, you know, you can always just be like, whoa.
You're just showing up ready to fucking play tug of war, man.
Yeah, you can see it. You can be like, I recognize that what I said offended you. I'm not really in a place to handle that right now. So I'd like to address this, but give me 20 minutes. You know?
I don't need glasses. Soja? Oh my gosh. Stop. I can't read it.
I'll get it. Oh, my phone's like being
red
stupid.
of my... Go away, bar.
Rest of My Life is a great song to aid in what you're elaborating on. Soja, Rest of My Life.
It's a great song to what? Aid in what you're elaborating on. Ooh, I'll have to check out that song. I don't need glasses.
This was a good life. This came out a lot better than I thought it would. For sure. Like, I didn't know.
Holding presence is a choice.
You guys, we almost gave up on this. Like, we almost last minute made it open, work it out Wednesday because it was going a bit rough. So we had to ask chat to help us give us a scenario, break it down so that we had a way to direct ourselves through it.
Well, you had a different point you wanted to make because in the other video, the string being taut represented you were present in the moment. Mm-hmm. But the way that you're explaining it is the connection you have, and recognizing when there's tightness between.
Yeah, it's a different kind of presence. Because the other one was definitely like focused presence, togetherness. This one is more like presence of the energetic connection between people and how that shows up through the string. Yeah, because you're reading energy, guys. Like, at the end of the day, when you're regulated, you know when energy's off, and it's up to you to speak up about it, because them as a regulated person may not be able to, may not know how, may not have the language for it. There's a reason why people are dysregulated. They haven't been given the tools, or they don't know how to use the tools they've been given, or they haven't been able to practice them enough to use them efficiently.
So we choose to be present. We choose to be present. We make that decision over and over, conversation after conversation. So next time you guys have the conversation, think about that string theory. Is that line taut? Is it slack? Don't feel bad. I need them too. I don't look at my glasses.
I have them and I can barely read.
But either way, when you recognize where the string's at, where the connection is at, don't shame it. Just be brave enough to feel it, address it, or at least be brave enough to come back and choose to address that again.
Yeah, you can always move forward, and you never truly are going backward, right? So even when you've got to readdress something that may have happened in the before, you're showing up with new information as a new version of you, and don't discredit that. Don't shy away from it. Own it. Somebody might get defensive and be like, oh, you're just blowing smoke up my ass. And be like, yeah, what flavor do you want? No. You know, really, honestly and truly.
Oh my gosh, you're Libra showing stuff.
Because I'm here and I'm ready to talk about this. Yeah, no, but really, honestly, like, own that. Like, I had some new insight. I see this from a different manner. You know what? I'm still not understanding, and I'd like to butt heads one more time because I want to come to resolution. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She has one last thing to say.
Do you want me to go there?
Yeah, I can't read it. You got glasses on.
Bro, and I still can't read it. Far away. Alright. I'm happy you didn't give up. I ended up stumbling in here. Thank you so much. And GPT is good for something. It's good for a lot, guys. It's a good helper tool. You know, you can't make it do all the work, and you're never gonna be authentic if you do. People are gonna know. But it does have its place in many different instances, and it's fascinating to see how people utilize it and in what way it enriches their life. For those that are willing to step into the whole controversy of AI and its stuff, which I refuse to. Like, people can feel how they want, and I respect that. But I personally could not be this without the help.
It's wild how it fell into our life and how it assisted in where we are today.
Yeah, there's no way I could have built a business.
It's just absolutely crazy that we live in the time that we live in.
Well, I shouldn't even say couldn't build a business, but it would have been, man.
Just thinking about it, like all the way back, we came from, VHS tapes, cassette players, and like remembering. Okay, so first of all, if you put in a movie, VHS tape in, and you had the opening. What are they called? The previews. The previews.
I always looked forward to the
and
previews.
like
They were the best.
There was a point in time where just based off the previews, I knew what VHS tape was in the player.
Yeah.
I remembered exactly what was going to happen, and I knew that I had so much time to go to the bathroom or gather my snacks and stuff and get ready. And then, like, remembering on the VHS tape, part of the previews became coming out soon and on DVD.
Did you have a favorite preview? Like, growing up with all your VHS. I know for me, my favorite preview was the Lion King preview with the kid pulling the luggage out down the stairs.
Oh my gosh! Oh, those were like the Disneyland previews. Yes, I loved those. Oh my god!
You're gonna love this, Larry. It really brings out the kid in you.
Yeah. Oh man, those luggage ones were
I know
freaking
he's
adorable.
just this big on TV, but in real life, Goofy could beat up Dad.
Holy cow!
And he had 2 missing front teeth.
Coming out soon on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, we lived in a time where we watched the computers come out.
Bro, I'm saying.
And go away. And now we watch our kids go to school and they don't bring home homework.
I know. I was talking to my grandma.
All on the computer.
She was talking about having one of the first color TVs here in Billings. She was one of the first families to have it. And I just
remember when the TVs used to be as wide as they were thick?
And so, but like going from that to walking into my grandma's bedroom tonight and seeing a big 65-inch TV on
flat
her wall.
Screen
I was
on her wall.
And she's over here just like mobbing around on her phone like it's been part of her entire life. Like, talk about like, we thought we got a cool culture shock because we caught the end of like analog and went hard in digital, right? And now kids are just hard in digital. But grandma, man, she was like before analog in a way. And look at that. Like, she was back in the times when they were still plugging phones in.
Like operator connector?
Yeah. Towards the beginning of it, towards the very beginning.
Hello, operator, give me number 9. If you disconnect me, I'll kick you from behind the refrigerator. There was a piece of glass. Miss Susie sat upon it, and from her big night asked me no more questions. I'll tell you no more lies. The boys are in the bathroom, zipping up their flies are in the meadow. The bees are in their hive.
Miss Susie has a steamboat. The steamboat has a
bell ding ding.
Yeah. That's where it goes. Has a bell, call me operator.
Oh,
send me number 9.
Now you can guess how old they are.
It goes back around. I don't know.
All right. Well, good night, my loves. That's it.
I feel like I had
go out and hold your strings with honor.
I feel like I had something else to add to this.
Really? After
all, no, but there was, it was something.
Yes.
It's gone. It doesn't matter.
Ding,
this was a good live. We got through anything and everything and a little bit more. I think it had something to do with movies, but no, not movies. It was something that I was going to say before you brought up movies. I don't know. Whatever. It's good night. Hasta la bye-bye. Checking out.
Thanks for that.
It was a great live. Gotta end on an awkward note.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
All right. Good night, everybody. Wait. I had one more thing to add. What is it?
I don't remember.
No, I don't remember. Okay.
Totally.
Bye.
Bye.